I don't need to say a thing. It's all here. Yeah, I know. I just decided to just go with you.
Okay. Welcome to Phantom of the Operatory. We're honored to have you here. Wanted to do a little, thanks guys, I wanted to do a little shout out to Lonnie because I think she would have loved it. And I want to invite you to our version of a healthy oral cavity progressing into periodontal disease.
Excellent stage break.
Okay. Act 1, the beginning. This is the Phantom of the Operatory retold. Far beneath the majesty and splendor of the healthy oral cavity hides the phantom, Porphyromonas gingivalis, in his shadowy existence deep in the periodontal pockets. Shamed by his putrid stench and feared by all sulci, the love he holds for his beautiful protege Catherine is so strong that even her pristine orifice cannot resist.
I'm Catherine, and I represent the healthy oral cavity. I'm in love with the prince, a delicate, well-balanced flora of gram-positive cockeye. He's in love with my uvula, my tongue, and bountiful salivary glands. However, he can't take his eyes off my 32 gem-like teeth and tight coral pink gingiva.
I'm the prince, Streptococcus mutans. My dukes, Lactobacillus casei. And I represent the well-balanced flora of the oral cavity. We are deeply in love with Catherine.
I am Lactobacillus casei, and I come forth with my lords. Gram-positive Streptococcus mitis, Streptococcus oralis, Streptococcus sanguis, and Eubacterium corrodens. We are here to protect Catherine against the gram-negative Fusobacterium species, Prevotella intermedia, Porphyromonas gingivalis, and Tanarella forsythia.
I am Actinomyces species, and I come forth with my lords, the gram-positive Cytophaga gingivalis, Streptococcus salivarius, Lactobacillus acidophilus, and Lactobacillus fermentum. We're here to protect Catherine against the gram-negative Tanarella denticola, Treponema denticola, Actinobacillus actinomycetum comitans, and Veonella species.
Who was that mysterious phantom? This candy is much too tempting to ignore.
Catherine has a dangerous new obsession, a sweet tooth. What will become of her healthy oral cavity? Stay tuned for Act 2.
Act 2, disturbance in the oral cavity. Catherine's oral cavity is now compromised due to her fixation with candy and her lust for the mysterious phantom. As the sucrose, glucose, and fructose becomes more abundant, her saliva washes a filmy pellicle on her teeth, and rod-shaped gram-negative bacteria begin to take notice of the sugars and use their adhesins to adhere to her once sparkling gems. The prince becomes aggravated and overthrown with jealousy.
Catherine, are you in love with another?
I'm so sorry, my prince, but my heart lies with the phantom. He gives me the candy that I crave.
The prince used to be a wonderful dude, but now his balance is disturbed, and he and his dukes begin to use fermentation to compete with the gram-negative bacteria.
I hope that in your infidelity you get dental caries.
With the various types of gram-positive and negative bacteria at war in Catherine, as well as the proteins and lipids that make up the extracellular polymeric substance of the biofilm, a thick plaque begins to accumulate both supragingivally and subgingivally. Sweet, naive Catherine's defense go on. While the phantom was able to creep past Catherine's first line of defense, including her skin and mucous membranes, she didn't care to notice because she was infatuated with his sugar-coated ways.
My lysozyme and IgA-abundant saliva is not strong enough to hold back the lipidae and endotoxin in the outer cell membrane of the phantom and his henchmen. Even my lactoferrin and lactoperoxidase is insufficient in taking in iron and producing oxygen-free radicals to hold them back.
Catherine was so obsessed with the phantom that she didn't notice He had infiltrated her second line of defense.
Phantom, I know it was you who gifted me this candy. I need more of you. I need to meet you face to face. Don't hide behind your capsule any longer.
Sweet Catherine. Oh, Catherine. You don't know the harm that I can cause. I'm dangerous. I have fibri that will take hold of you and never let go. I have leukotoxins that will kill your white blood cells. I have collagenase, protease, and hyaluronidase to break down your walls and your soft tissues and proteins. I also have a love for you, Catherine, that will last as long as the final tooth in your oral cavity.
Oh, Phantom. Bad boy attitude.
The Phantom cascaded Catherine with non-specific compliments, which aroused her antibodies.
Oh wow, a candygen. I'm feeling kind of funky. I think I might make an antigen-antibody complex.
The Phantom is much too classical to use the alternate pathway he had set in his complex ways.
I'm a C1. I'm going to fragment into C3s.
I'm C3, and I hydrolysize C3A and C3B.
I'm C3A and I produce histamine.
I'm C3B, I will leave C5A and C5B. Please.
I'm C5A and I will produce histamine.
I'm C5B and I form MAC attack.
We are the Mac attack, lysing dangerous bacteria and attracting many phagocytes.
What Catherine didn't know was that the bacteria trapped in the Mac attack was the prince. A virus had attached to his receptor site, and the non-specific immune system didn't care to differentiate.
Oh no, my prince! I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen to you. I just wanted candy. I'm a slave to it and my love for the Phantom.
Catherine doesn't realize that her oral cavity is in trouble. Her gingiva is becoming inflamed, and her love fever is growing hotter. In other areas of the gingival tissue, leukocytes are fighting a perilous battle.
I'm an eosinophil. And I'm delightfully barbell-shaped nucleus helps me fight parasitic harms.
I'm a basophil and I release heparin and histamine when I come in contact with strange proteins. Then mast cells and IG come into help and bind to the allergens.
I'm the neutrophil, and I'm the bomb, the unibomber, that is. I am full of hydrogen peroxide and turns a pest when I phagocytize pathogens.
Go team!
Catherine is experiencing gingivitis, an inflammation of her gingiva from the all-out war between the bacterial flora and invaders. The Phantom's henchmen cause localized swelling and reddening at the infection site, acute inflammatory response in Catherine's gingiva.
I must find my mast cells and the mast cell comrades and release histamine in order to cause vasodilations to allow the mast cells to come into the rescue. I also have a few prostaglandins kicking around to make Catherine painfully aware of the damage that the Phantom is doing to her. He can't get away with this.
Oh dear, Catherine is in trouble. I need to rescue her via diaperesis. I'll creep through the vast and dilated capillaries and become a macrophage. After phagocytizing this antigen with my lysosomes and loading it into my major histocompility complex class 2 molecule, I have become an antigen-presenting cell. Come one, come all, let's get together and help Catherine. I also have some delightful interleukin-1 for the first helper T cell that comes my way. Helper T to the rescue! Come here often.
Holy moly, I must release interleukin-2 and sound the alarm!
Tea to the rescue! Hey, macrophage, your candidates look so tasty. If I bind to it, I'll definitely get some sweet cytokines out of the cell. Target cell?
Any help with you? Your cytokines help me find those two targets. And last word before I shoot you full of holes with my preference. Hasta la vista, baby.
more apparent. Even the damaged cells are releasing prostaglandins to transmit pain signals, as well as leukotrienes to attract more phagocytes. It seems as though Catherine can't even see what is going on through the blinding love fever. The pain of inflammation feels as though it has been dulled by being ignored, and Catherine is experiencing the ongoing chronic inflammation that follows.
Oh, Phantom, your love fever is strong in my bloodstream. Your hot endotoxic pyrogens are raising my core temperature to greater than 37.8 degrees Celsius.
Man, it's hot in here. And what's with all these endotoxins? I better get phagocytizing and release my interleukin-1.
Hi, I'm the hypothalamus. All of this interleukin-1 is stimulating me to turn up the thermostat, and in order to conserve this love fever, I'd better vasoconstrict those blood vessels. It's gonna be a hot one tonight.
Act 3, the last tooth standing. While Catherine is lost in her lusty fever, the Phantom takes full advantage of her weakened state. Catherine's specific immunity takes over as the third line of defense against the Phantom. It is the last hope.
Who dares to wake me from my slumber in the bone marrow? Oh look, a piece of candy. My sweet tooth receptor must have picked this up. This will give me what I need to pump out some serious memory B lymphocytes, as well as antibody-producing plasma cells.
Defensins are surrounded by target cells, and T lymphocytes are producing memory T lymphocytes, helper T, and cytotoxic T cells in an attempt to weaken the opposition of the Phantom. Everyone is experiencing intense stress in the oral cavity, so much that the memory T lymphocytes have the images of gram-negative bacteria forever etched into their memories.
My sweet Catherine, I give you this token of my love, made up of 70 to 90% of the most fabulous calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, and magnesium phosphate.
Oh, Phantom, this is beautiful. It's so beautiful that I might go into anaphylactic shock. God, good thing I'm not allergic to the nuts in your sweet candy bag. Oh no! What's going on? Why is my plaque mineralizing into a tenacious calculus? Phantom, what are you doing to me? Who are you really?
Catherine began to realize that the Phantom was setting a trap. It wasn't her knees that were weak for the Phantom, it was her periodontal ligaments weakening. She was never so in love that she was at a loss for words. In fact, she was losing precious alveolar bone and teeth instead. Catherine is so far gone that her epithelial cells, osteoblasts, and fibroblasts had called it quits. The damage was irreparable at this point.
Well, I don't know who you are, but you have caused my beautiful oral cavity to become full of periodontal disease.
I'm sorry, Catherine, that I had to do this to you. But before you dissolve into a fleshy, putrid heap of necrotizing ulcerative periodontitis, I will tell you who I really am. My gingivitis is now periodontitis. Bone loss is imminent, as well as periodontal ligament. Interleukin 6 and 8, gingival tissue dissipates. Oh, Phantom of the Operatory is here, inside my gums. It's true, my tumor, necrosis factor, alpha will ruin your happy ever after. My true identity is porphyromosis.
making it happen.
Well, we have a couple of people acting as judges. And so they're gonna step outside